Oh, Breba? Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. You don't. No. On MTGO? In vintage? Reba? It's great because a lot of the young kids in the Discord, like, who just started playing vintage, just have no idea who Breva is. Fantastic. Breva is one of the other founding members of the Vintage Streaming Discord. One of the people who was streaming vintage at the time of its creation. It was me, Breva, Chubby Rain, and Kiki Jackson. Yeah, the good old days, as it were. All right. Yeah, I keep. Absolutely. Will do again. See what Breva's up to. Think Breva's up to shops or lands or what do we got? What are we thinking? Oh. I literally fucking said. All right, fucking Jake. Okay, all right. Okay, all right, okay, all right, okay. Island, pass, ancestral. The reason we do this for anyone coming from a different place, by different place I mean different format, you want to, 1, play around Force of Negation, and 2, not overdraw with your ancestral. If I go Island Ancestral on my turn, I drop to 8 cards and have to discard unless I drew a Mox. Not that many Mox in my deck. And I obviously expose my ancestral with the Force of Negation. So, instead, before they draw an extra card, we cast Ancestral on our upkeep. And they, on their upkeep, and oh my god, they have their one of Mental Misstep. Force pitching Baleful Strix? Force pitching Baleful Strix. Force pitching something? Or do we get 3 cards? Wonderful. I still can't cast my stupid ass Baleful Strix. It's just perfect deck building, chat. Oh my god, is that an Underground Sea? Is that an Underground Sea? Did Breba turn to the dark side? I've never seen Breba put an Underground Sea into play. What happened? What happened to the Breba I knew and loved? He's betrayed us. Bug? I drew another fucking land that's not a black land. He is a basic bitch. That's fair. No! Fucking stop! My mana base. My mana base. Thought because I was bug I would have a better mana base than 4-color, but I was wrong. Wrong, I tell you. Are you just passing back to me? I'm gonna get fucking dazed, aren't I? It's possible. It's definitely possible, Pokey. I can't legally play into daze here, right? It has to be daze. I think we're just gonna cast Therapy on Force of Will. Well, my biggest problem with playing Strix is Wasteland. I guess it does. Both of the things don't really play around Wasteland. No. There's no way they make these lines of play without. It's not even that good if we resolve an Aluren, right? It's like not even that good. It's not that good. I like the days decks in Vintage in Bug right now are like 3 dazes. Which one am I the least sad about if I lose it? I guess I'm more sad if I lost my Bayou, but I am more sad if I lost my Bayou. Whoops. That's true. Unfortunately, my Alright, I was gonna say my Aluren doesn't do anything, but my Aluren now confirmed does things. Unless they like abrupt decay my Strix or something. I did give them a land to abrupt decay my Strix. They might just eat my Ancestral though. That makes more sense. Fair. Alright, okay, okay. Alright, we're in good shape. Alright, what's this do? Green mana? Please don't play Leovold. Assassin's Trophy my Strix? You nuts? He's crazy. He's crazy. Alright, we need to draw another creature that does something. What do we therapy now? We still therapy Force of Will, maybe? Kinda seems like that's like the most generic play. They just force the therapy? Why? Why would he Force of Will the therapy? I'm just gonna cast another one, I think. Didn't even pitch Daze though, pitch Dig. So maybe they didn't have Daze and they just had double force. Kind of seems like that's likely the case, the way they're currently pausing. Yeah, I agree, chat. I agree. We do need to draw a creature that does something though, because they did Assassin's Trophy my Baleful Strix, which maybe I guess was a decent play. Ah. Well, they're pretty close to Cruise. Cruise Oko. They're one land from Oko too. As long as, actually, they're one fetch land from Oko, I should probably state. I should just resolve this now, right? Well, that lets them cast things. But it doesn't let them draw forces. I think I'm still supposed to cast it, knowing they have no creatures in hand. I guess they can't Assassin's Trophy. They would have to draw a Tarmogoyf or a Leovold for this to be bad, I guess. Or another death. Yeah. Tarmogoyf or Leovold would be the draws that make this Aluren play bad. I guess Assassin's Trophy, obvious. Oh god, so they found a fetch land, so now they can cruise? No, they can't cruise, right? This is... Yeah, no, that's 4, 6, 7, 8. So they can cruise or they can Oko. I think they're much more likely to be in a better position post Cabal Therapies because they have 2 cards that they're 1 land away from casting. Alright, so now they have an Oko and 4 cards. I guess I could have... No, it doesn't really work. They drew a Black Jet. Okay. Draw a creature too to Aluren. That would be bad. Alright, what we need to see here... I guess they would just Aluren on my turn in response to it. We would really want to see a Strix, an Uro, a Demonic Tutor, a Spellseeker. Okay. They had a black mana, not a green mana, of note. If this is a green mana, it would be a problem. So, a problem... I guess if they flash in a Leovold, we can still respond by, like, flashing in the Harpy. So that's still... we beat that. So let's just go for it. I guess if they flash in a Leovold right now, before the trigger is on the stack, then it's a problem. What is this? Eat one of my therapies? Sure. Okay, we draw a card. We drew an Uro? Fair? I don't know. I'm not sure. So now we can Cavern Harpy back the Uro, right? Yes. Good. Good. Is there a more optimal way to be doing this? Well, this is just going to draw our deck and win the game. So I don't really know if there's a reason to do the therapy thing, but maybe we should. There's kind of no reason not to, right? I guess. We just like... Yeah, so we could kick a Seagate and triple therapy. I don't know. I've literally never played Aluren, so please tell me. Play the Harpy, put the trigger on the stack, cast the bird. I think in this situation, none of it's going to matter because opponent doesn't have anything that, you know, untap mana. But tell me how to play Aluren, please. I'm not a Legacy player, so I've actually never played Aluren. So what you're saying makes sense. You play this, and because this is not a targeting trigger, it goes on the stack. Then you play the Baleful Strix. Yeah, sure. That sounds better. Okay. Okay. Good. Thanks for letting me know. Definitely wouldn't know. I mean, I could probably figure it out after I get hit by a removal spell for the very first time. I would probably figure it out, but it probably saved me from one loss at the very least. Oh, yeah, it doesn't work. It works like that for the Baleful Strix, but it doesn't work like that for the Uro, because the Uro has a sack trigger. Fair. But I think Ben's point is I led that turn by playing Strix when I should have led that turn by playing Harpy and then Strix, and then I could switch back to doing the Uro thing. Which I think is a fair point, even if they have no disruption because they have nothing. So okay, so we're playing against Bug. Obviously the only card that's like super value is maybe like a Veil. I don't really think we want to play Thoughtseize. It's more for combo. This is like for combo, and this is for dredge, and this is for shops. So I don't actually have cards for Bug because fuck Bug, lol. But a Veil could be reasonable. So what card is our least effective card in this thing where we're doing the grind? We could technically get rid of a Force. We could get rid of a Therapy. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think it's one of these two cards, because the rest of the cards help us grind. Oh god, I have 20 seconds. Alright, I'll try getting rid of a Force. So that was sick. Regrowth was good. Regrowth is something I've been testing, because my original list didn't have a regrowth, but I found that I wanted to get, like, my Ancestral out of my yard so that I could Stormcaller it again. Maybe the real reason, the real way to do that is to play a Mystic Sanctuary, but more on that later, I guess. Oh, we're so close. Yo, we have to keep this, right? If we hit a land, we have turn 1 Aluren with Force backup. If we don't hit a land, we have Brainstorm and Preordain. YOLO. What's the worst that could happen? Yeah, we could play an Eternal Witness. I have an Eternal Witness in one of my other builds. I didn't want to play an Eternal Witness in a build that didn't have Recruiter. Like, I thought that all of, like, the real one-off things I wasn't super happy with when I didn't have Recruiter. But when I had Recruiter, you know, playing one Collector Oof, one Eternal Witness, one Baron, one of all of those cards felt fine. So, yeah, you can have an 0-1 Tarmogoyf. Could not care. Alright, come on, land. Let's do... I guess land learn is not like my best line. But we can do it if we want. The problem is we don't get to actually draw a card, which is the sad part here. Because we don't have something to bounce. I mean, we do have something to bounce. It'd be the Aluren, but... I mean, we could just bounce their Tarmogoyf and tempo them, but they could just replay it with Aluren, so it doesn't really do much besides draw us a card at the end of turn. I don't really like the idea of, like, using our Lotus, though. I mean, we have a Force. I know Baron doesn't draw a card. That's why I don't like this line. I agree. I guess if we brainstorm and we brainstorm, well, if we brainstorm, then we can't cast Aluren. And then we can't cast anything. All right. We can't do the play. We can't make the Aluren line. It's just because this is a bayou and not an island. I just don't think it's a line we can take. I am gonna go with the lead with Brainstorm, hoping for find a fetch land. Obviously, didn't find a fetch land. So we could regrowth. Wait a second. Hold on. Bayou. Regrowth my Lotus Aluren, Uro Baron Baleful Strix. Okay. Fuck it. Let's do it. What can I have to put 2 cards back. So all right. So I need regrowth and the land and the Aluren. I also probably need Force of Will and a blue card that I want to pitch. So that's Time Walk can go back, and then one of my things can go back. So I guess the Uro goes back because we want to. Well, no, we would rather cast the Uro, cast the Baron, bounce the Uro, cast the Uro, right? That's better than doing the Baleful Strix, I would say. So I want to put back Time Walk and Baleful Strix, but put Baleful Strix on top and draw into it. Well, no, because if the 3rd card down, so we're going to draw 2. So, all right, we're going to draw. We draw, and then bounce, and then we draw. And then we play the Uro. If the 3rd card down is a land, which we want it to be a land, so we want to put back Time Walk and Uro. Time Walk and Uro. No. Preordain is our blue card for sure. If the opponent has Force of Will, or double Leovold, like if opponent has like a sufficient amount of interaction, we just lose the game on the spot. But isn't that kind of fun? Regrowth, putting in some value. I think opponent has at least one piece of counter magic here. If they have two pieces of counter magic, or if they have a counter magic and a Leovold, or if they have two Leovolds, that's where shit goes south for us. They don't have shit. See if this hits a land. Alright, didn't hit a land. Alright, so we have Force, and we draw a card at the end of turn. Oh man. Did we do it? Did we finally show the power of Vintage Aluren? Maybe. Black Lotus is certainly a good magic card. Regrowth, not technically a good magic card anymore, but kind of nice with Black Lotus. We do have to be aware that they can flash in things off Aluren. And they have a 4/5 Goyf at the moment. So, like, the game is not over. But we got some Magic the Gathering cards in our hands, so... What would you cast off of black? You can just cast Death right off of Aluren. If opponent attacks with Tarmogoyf, do we block with Strix? No, we don't really give a fuck because we're at 23 life, I guess. What is this? Oh, an Oko. I think an Oko is fine. Like, they Oko our Baron, we just Village Rights it. They Oko our Strix, we just Village Rights it. I think this is fine. They can't hit my enchantment, so... It's really good that we didn't get, like, they can't attack with this Tarmogoyf because then they lose their Oko. Oh, if they have creatures in their hand, I guess that's not true. It's good we didn't get Wastelanded because we wouldn't really be able to cast any of our Magic the Gathering cards. That would be a big problem. But there's some bug lists now that aren't even running Wasteland. They're just running Mystic Sanctuary. Oh, mana for sure. Yeah, now we just cast Time Walk, right? Or just DT for the combo. Harpy draws our deck, right? So Harpy bounces a Baron, who bounces Baleful Strix, we redraw, and we just draw through our deck at the cost of 1 life per draw. That's what it is, right? This game is the one. It's the one. Is there any reason not to just Time Walk this turn first, though? Like, try to play around Double Days? Fuck that noise. I don't really care anymore. Alright. DT for Cavern Harpy. Cast Cavern Harpy. Return Baron. Cast Baron. Bounce Baleful Strike. I guess I don't even need to do that. But I guess it puts the Baron into play. We have to draw our combo piece before 20 cards, though, right? I mean, that's probably fine, but that is something that has to happen. We did build a bargain. That's true. Yeah, Uro would do it. I only have one Uro and one Uki Maki thing. I don't know what the hell that card is called. Oh, that's a good draw. What? That's not how that works. I'm only gonna draw once with that card, right? What are you saying, Mike? I already bounced once with Baron so that I will draw a card. No, that's not how that works. Okay, I found Uro, so now I have it. So now I get to play all my lands and I get to bounce back my Uro. You guys good? You guys need to see anymore, or can I put Briva out of his misery? Briva is asking if I can put him out of his misery. Poor Briva. Alright. It's okay. You can go. And 3-2. Actually, not bad. Not bad. So like that that last round was a pretty good example of what I was trying to do. Obviously, along the way, you like sideboard out of your combo deck and you sideboard into a bug control deck because opponents are just more powerful than you. But I mean, I think the deck's really cool. I actually don't think that. I think that the card Aluren and Uro's been great too. Uro has been very, very good. I think the card Aluren is actually good enough. I do think it's at a power level that you're okay with in Vintage. I think the shell that I built here is not the right shell. I think that the Veteran Explorer is like great when it works and then kind of miserable when it doesn't. And I think that the Stormcaller is so cool, but probably not good enough. So I think that switching it up and trying to play a more combo-centric version with 4 colors and Recruiter, it might be the way to go. But I was really happy like playing the Stormcaller deck, and I could see myself playing this deck again because it really is fun. Like, you guys saw Regrowth, but like you didn't see Stormcaller Regrowth. So like I said, I do think that this deck is powerful, and you guys got to see it do some cool things. So I'm a little happy about that. And definitely thanks to Pokey for you know, putting it up on Twitter so I could see it and spark some inspiration. So it's now 9. I do need to wake up at 4 to watch Worlds this morning. I think we can get a league in with Death and Taxes. Let's try to get the league in with Death and